It feels like it belongs to someone else. That shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people. Symbols are nothing without the women and men that give them meaning.
We need someone to inspire us again.
The world's more complicated now.
We're never gonna stop. This world is ours. There's no going back.
It doesn't have to be a war.
It already is.
We can't lose this fight. If we do this, we're gonna do it our own way.
So we're partners.
Co-workers, not necessarily a team. No. We look damn good, though.
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my brand new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer video. Marvel just dropped what they're calling the final trailer. There'll probably be a couple more promos before the first episode drops on Friday, but I'll explain what the schedule is going to be and how this is all going to work. I'll be doing videos for all the episodes, just like Wandavision, so be sure to subscribe to get everything if you're brand new to my channel. And because I will be referencing some of the stuff that happens during WandaVision for the continuity and the timeline, just careful for spoilers from WandaVision if you haven't seen those episodes. But I'll just start with the trailer footage first and then talk about some of the other things that they've revealed about potential for Season 2 storylines, as well as some of the other movies that they talked about crossing over into during Marvel Phase 4. But the new trailer footage starts with Falcon practicing with Captain America's shield, saying it feels like it belongs to someone else, just talking about the whole idea of Old Man Cap. They talk about basically losing him as the symbol of Captain America. So there are a couple different groups in this trailer, a couple different people talking about the need for a symbol. Like you have Winter Soldier's character helping train Falcon how to use the shield, talking about how it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Then you have all these government officials, the military in the US, talking about how they need a symbol. They need to give people someone to believe in again because they want a new Captain America. I do love the extra detail here that they provide with this footage, though. You notice that Falcon, down here in his Louisiana home, has actually put pads around all of his trees so that he doesn't destroy them when he's practicing with the shield. And if you couldn't tell, this is Louisiana where this is happening, so obviously this is meant to be Falcon's family home that he's gone back to after the events of Avengers Endgame. Also explain the timeline in a second too. But Anthony Mackie said that was actually a big deal for him because he himself in real life is from Louisiana, and that's where his main home is, where he goes back to when he's not out busy making movies like the Marvel movies or the Disney Plus series. The whole thing here, though, is just him learning to throw the shield correctly so that it returns back to him. Everybody remembers those jokes that Spider-Man made during Captain America Civil War, where he was joking to Cap about how the shield supposedly doesn't obey the laws of physics, just because of the crazy trick shots that Cap pulls off with it. Probably some of the best ones, though, were during Avengers Endgame when he was bouncing it off of Thor's hammer. Like, he would throw the shield, then throw Thor's hammer, and bounce it mid-air to come back to him. Just the craziest trick shot you could imagine. Ultron also had some pretty solid Captain America jokes during Avengers Age of Ultron, just clowning on humanity because vibranium is such an amazing resource, but all they could think to do with it was create a frisbee. Just for reference too, during WandaVision, we actually find out that they value Vision's body, because he's made of vibranium, at a grand total of about $3 billion. And because we just got done watching those episodes, just charting the timeline, so WandaVision takes place about 3 weeks after Avengers Endgame, and the events of that series take place over the course of a calendar week, so the finale takes place about a month after Avengers Endgame, not counting the flash forward in the post-credit scene. That probably takes place quite a bit later than that. Falcon and Winter Soldier takes place a couple months after Avengers Endgame, so the events of Falcon and Winter Soldier take place just a little while after the events of WandaVision. So I'll bring this up when I talk about Sword and what's going on with the US government, the military, because of all this Captain America Weapons Plus stuff that's going on in the background. There's always some shady faction inside the US government or some secret organization like Sword that's doing something really crazy. It's no different during Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's just a different group of people that's doing this stuff. But when the series is picking up, obviously Bucky is here trying to get Falcon to fully take up the shield, take up the mantle of Captain America. Anthony Mackie talked about Falcon being reluctant to do that just because it's so complicated, because things are so crazy after Avengers Endgame. They kind of got into that with the Sword storyline on WandaVision, where Tyler Hayward has basically kind of gone off the rails, and they've fully militarized what used to be more of like a SHIELD version of NASA. So you have to imagine that that same sentiment is happening with all the other factions of the US government. The military is just doubling down, going way hardcore. We have to protect ourselves in case something like Thanos ever comes back. This will also get into the Flag Smashers storyline too. They kind of give you some more context for what's going on with them during this trailer footage. But you have to imagine that when you become Captain America, you're also kind of the property of the US government. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on that Falcon just isn't totally sure that he wants to associate himself with. They kind of address that with the War Machine subplot during Avengers Infinity War when Captain America's Secret Avengers come back to the Avengers base. Like they have that bit of a standoff moment where Thunderbolt Ross tells War Machine, "You signed the Accords, you agreed to work with us, you agreed to do what we say." And you remember that Falcon was firmly Team Captain America during Civil War, so he was totally not down with Thunderbolt Ross. So there's a lot of politics that come with becoming the new Captain America, as you'll see during the series. I know there are also a lot of people that are theorizing that somehow Winter Soldier and Falcon will both share the shield because we've seen them both use it so much, but for the most part, the series is about Falcon becoming the next Captain America before Avengers 5. Then we see the footage of Falcon in the Smithsonian giving that speech looking at the Captain America costumes and shields from the past back from World War II. They even have a copy of the original one and his motorcycle from that first Captain America movie, the one that he was riding during World War II. They also have an original Captain America #1 comic book that circulated during the war, him punching Hitler out on the cover. Fun fact too, that's actually the real Captain America #1 comic book, and in real life, the actual US military circulated, I think it was almost millions of copies of that comic book to the troops. The military itself bought tons and tons of copies of these Captain America comics and just gave them to all the troops that were fighting in the war. That's why the number of issues that Marvel sold during that period were so high. But all these other items here are things that he was wearing or working on or using during that first Captain America movie. I think they even have one of his drawings here because you remember that Steve Rogers, little skinny Steve Rogers, before he joined the military and got the super soldier serum, was a cartoonist. There's even a deleted scene from the first Avengers movie where he's drawing a picture of the Avengers Tower just sitting at the cafe outside. I even think that Iron Man might have some of his drawings just as part of his art collection. But then you have Falcon's speech talking about the meaning behind the symbolism of Captain America's shield and the Captain America name, how the person behind that is just as important as the shield itself. Then they sort of juxtapose that with the military official or the politician, whoever this person is, giving his speech trying to introduce the John Walker US agent version of Captain America, talking about how the United States needs someone to inspire them again, the way that Captain America did. Wielding Thor's hammer and clocking a giant purple space Hitler will do that. That'll inspire a ton of people. The whole thing with the John Walker US agent Captain America is that he is just like fully Team Thunderbolt Ross. Way quicker to kill people, way less likely to question the orders that are given to him, regardless of what those orders are. Whereas Captain America was more about doing what he felt like was right, rather than what he was told to do. Then you see the Flag Smashers group meeting in what looks like the burned down ruins of this church, just talking about how complicated the world has become after Avengers Endgame. Even though we know these are the Flag Smashers, they haven't told us the actual name of Erin Kellyman's character here. Most of you probably remember her as Enfys Nest from Solo: A Star Wars Story. But whatever's going on with them, it sounds like they're being persecuted for some reason. Something bad is happening to them that becomes their big call to action. Like she says, they're never going to stop. And later she has the conversation with Falcon where he seems like he's trying to talk her off a ledge. Like, please, we don't want another all-out war after Avengers Endgame. Nobody wants another war after what just happened. And she says it already is a war. So it's not really clear what is happening to them or what the government is trying to do to them or where they're coming from. but as you can see, it clearly looks like they have been jacked up on a diluted form of the super soldier serum, because right when they roll into action, you see them burst through that wall to take out the security guard, but later they have a bigger version of this convoy fight scene that they've been putting in all the trailers, and you notice that they're just completely laying into Winter Soldier, who one, has a vibranium arm, so already pretty powerful, but he's also jacked up on a version of the super soldier serum, so he's also super strong, just like Captain America. So if they're able to lay the beat down on him, like Falcon has all those jokes like, that little girl beat your ass, it means that that little girl, Erin Kellyman's character, is also jacked up on a version of the super soldier serum. You also probably noticed in this fight, she jumps up super high while they're in the middle of this fight, grabs Falcon's Red Wing drone and smashes it over her knee, so everyone press F in the chat to pay respects to Red Wing, at least until Falcon gets himself another one. So it's not totally clear if the Flag Smashers group here was a group that the government experimented on, like they were just a bunch of test subjects that got versions of a diluted super soldier serum, or if there's something else going on with their group, but the series itself will address sort of the aftermath of Avengers Endgame and how everyone isn't doing so hot. Like obviously we saw Wandavision, like she has a full-blown mental breakdown as she creates the hex with her chaos magic. There's a version of that kind of going on with all the different characters after Avengers Endgame. It's just that everybody doesn't have chaos magic the way that Wanda does. Then even though we only get a little bit of Baron Zemo in here, it just seems like based on this footage, Zemo himself is not in charge of the Flag Smashers, but he might be trying to take advantage of them and what they're doing the same way that Tyler Hayward in Sword was trying to take advantage of what Wanda was doing with the Hex. So like Wanda created the Hex by herself. She did all this on her own. She did not steal Vision's body like Tyler Hayward lied about. But when she did create the Hex, Tyler Hayward saw an opportunity to juice up his version of White Vision with her chaos magic. So he just took advantage of what she was doing. Baron Zemo's thing, as he says during the trailer, is to get rid of all superheroes around the world. So he might just be taking advantage of the chaos that's being caused by the Flag Smashers. Really love all the fight scenes. Obviously, this feels very much like Captain America Civil War or Captain America Winter Soldier. The action is meant to follow and flow from a lot of the action that you see during those movies. You also only see a little bit of Sharon Carter footage. She obviously is one of the other main leads of the series, but they're mostly hyping this up as Falcon and Winter Soldier because of the whole Lethal Weapon MCU aspect of it. They're kind of using her in a very Black Widow type of way during the series because a lot of the series draws on Winter Soldier comic book stories and Easter eggs, and in those stories, Black Widow is featured heavily, but because Natasha is dead in present day, and Bucky, as far as we know, hasn't met the new Black Widow, Yelena Belova, yet, or she hasn't fully taken the mantle of the Black Widow from Natasha yet after learning of her death. They'll address that during the Black Widow movie, mostly in the Hawkeye series later this year, because I believe Yelena Belova is also supposed to show up during the Hawkeye episodes. Anthony Mackie also said that there would be a lot of cameos during the series. We know about War Machine's cameo. They didn't talk a lot about that during the press conference, but we also know that Batroc the Leaper is coming back from the Winter Soldier movie. Anthony Mackie says that he's actually been begging Kevin Feige to let him be in the new Blade movie, which is supposed to start filming later this year. And Sebastian Stan says that he really wants Winter Soldier to show up on the Moon Knight series, which is also filming really soon. And during the press conference, he actually unintentionally got Kevin Feige to confirm that Oscar Isaac is going to be Moon Knight for the MCU. The whole thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier Season 2 is that Kevin Feige said that now they are discussing ideas for a Season 2 storyline, but we won't be able to theory craft about what that could be until we see the Season 1 episodes and a few other Marvel Disney Plus series. So everyone get hype. If you have any big questions about the series, just post them in the comments below. You can click here for all my other Falcon and Winter Soldier videos, and you can click here to learn all about the WandaVision alternate ending and deleted scenes. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.